So this is ixlee14. It's a lot like ixlee13, except we're given stuff on this one. We're told the mean, we're told the standard deviation, we're finding the bottom 80. All right? So here's your mean in the middle, it's 45. Your standard deviation, sigma, is 7. And you're finding the bottom 80. So you want to know what this z-score is, because you're finding this bottom 80. Well, the area is 0.8. So if you did ixlee13, this thing's not much different. The difference is we put in the mean and the standard deviation. In ixlee13, the mean was 0, the standard deviation was 1. So not much harder. For some reason, I've closed my calculator, so let me bring it up. Unless you want me to teach you this using tables and doing it by hand, and I don't presume you do. That's one of the things that's changed quite a bit. We've gotten away from the old school, and the understanding is just not there. It's push the buttons, easy peasy, done in 5 minutes, forget all about it the next day. Used to have to work for this stuff. Well, what do I know? I'm just a nerd. Anyways, still doing inverse norm. Second vars, inverse norm. I want the bottom 80. And by the way, notice this is a left tail, because I shaded stuff on the left. The area of this thing that I'm interested in is 0.8. The mean is given as 45. And the standard deviation is 7. And she is a left tail. So, 50.891. How do they want us to round? Nearest thousandth. So yes, 50.891, if I can remember right. 50.891. Let's hope I get this one right. Wonderful. Bottom 30. It doesn't take you long to draw this. If you're college bound, the bell curve is a pretty big deal to you. We want the bottom 30. The question is, what's the z-score here? In this little area is 0.3. It's also a left tail. I taught stats years and years ago, and the kids who would draw the bell curve, they did well. The kids who would not draw the bell curve, they did not do well. But it was probably my fault either way, right? That's what we do nowadays. We blame the teacher, not ourselves. Sorry, just ranting. It doesn't get much easier than this. When I taught stats, we did it with tables. We didn't actually use the calculator. But, you know, I'm ancient. I wish I would have wrote down the standard deviation. 14. Second, vars, inverse norm. Bottom 30. Mean on that thing is 26. Standard deviation was 14. She is a left tail. 18.658. 18.658. Hopefully I'm right. If I missed something, it's probably from either a typo or being tired and not paying attention to the numbers. Bottom 10, same thing. Bottom 1%, same thing. This looks like a centering. The middle 10. Okay, so that's a little bit different. That's worth looking at. The middle 10%. So the area is 0.1. Smack dab in the middle is a mean of 74. We have a standard deviation sigma equal to 6. And we just need to figure some stuff out. We can do that with TI-84. Where was I? Middle 10%. Second, vars, inverse norm. Area here being 0.1. The mean being 74. The standard deviation being 6. She is a center tail. So 73.246 is the left. 73.246. That's your left value. The right value would be this guy right here, 74.754. 74.754. Wonderful. And there's another middle. I'm not going to do another middle. It's the same thing. Outside 40%. That's interesting. I'm talking about the outside 40%. I have 20% here. And I have 20% here. You can do this in two separate operations if you want. You can do inverse norm with a left tail. You can do inverse norm with a right tail. Or you can realize that there's 60% left in the middle. And you can do inverse norm with a center, which is what I'm going to do. Because it's just quicker. It's one step, it's one and done. If you don't understand what I'm talking about here, do the stuff on the left, okay? Second, bars, inverse norm. Area being 0.6. Mean is 38, standard deviation is 23. Come on. Mean is 38, standard deviation is 23. So I got 18.643 on the left. 18.643 on the left. And on the right-hand side, I have 57.357. Done forgot it. 57.357. Super. Here's another one of these, the outside 30. If you're talking about the outside 30, you may as well be talking about the middle 70. Save myself from looking back and forth. I'm going to put that in here. Mean was 54. Standard deviation is 8. Back to second bars, inverse norm. Area here being 0.7. Mean being 54. Standard deviation being 8. Still doing a center tail. So 45.709. The other one being 62.291. 45.709. And 62.291. Still doing good. I'm just going to jump through and see if there's anything. We're only on level 5 here. There's 6 levels apparently. We have another outside 24%. So this thing stays pretty much the same all the way to the end. Goal is going to be a 95. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it clicks and hope it makes perfect sense to you. It's not hard, especially with one of these new faceplate TIs.